Hey guys, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Faith. I talk about immigrating from other countries to the US as a nurse, and I also do lifestyle content. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about the highest paying states in the US for registered nurses. So this is a list that I've compiled after doing my research, after looking at the lists for the last like 1 year. I was looking at 2023 and 2024, and we are about to finish 2024, so it's just like 2 years worth of data. But going through several sites and looking through, this is what I came up with. So, without wasting time, we're gonna go through the highest paying states in the USA. So, I came up with 10 highest paying states for nurses. So, I'm gonna start from number 10 as we go up to the first one. So, let's get straight into the video. Guys, before I start this video, I want you to know that in case you land a job in the highest paying state or city in the US, it doesn't mean that the amount of money that you will be remaining with in the pocket will necessarily be high compared to other low paying states. So there are so many factors that come in with livelihood when you're looking at the hourly rates or the general income of pay of salaries or income according to states. So I'm just doing this video to show you guys that some of these states have higher wages compared to others. But before you decide to move to some of these states, do your own math and see if that's the state that it's worth you going there as much as it's paying a lot. Do research about other stuff, including the amount of money that you need to spend on your rent, the amount of money that you need to spend on your expenses, the commute. A lot of things come into factor before you choose these states. But either way, we're gonna go through the highest paying states in the US. Number 10 is New Hampshire. New Hampshire has an hourly rate of 42.98 per hour. That's the US dollars, and annual salary of around 89,410 USD. So New Hampshire is one state that pays nurses very well. Is a beautiful state to move to, but as I said, consider other things as you go through this list of states. Number 9 is gonna be Texas. Texas has hourly rate of 43.37 USD per hour and annual salary of around 90,210. So I can say that among these 10 states, Texas is a very good choice if you are thinking of moving to a state. I know a lot of people who live in Texas. The annual salaries and the hourly rate is actually good, 43.37 per hour. You know, this is just the average annual. You might get a place that pays more than that, but if you look at other factors, that is good money when you have to live in Texas. But I know Texas has its own pros and cons, but this is one reason why it makes number 9 on my list of states that are paying high in the US. Number 8 is New Mexico. Their hourly rate is 44.30 USD per hour and an annual salary of around 92,140 USD. So that's also one good paying state in America if you are considering to go to New Mexico, or if you have a contract with a facility in New Mexico. It makes the list for the top paying states in America. Number 7 is gonna be Rhode Island. Rhode Island has an hourly rate of 45.71 USD per hour and an annual salary of 95.070 annual salary. So this one, I also asked, I have a colleague that came from Rhode Island, and this is the money that around the same figure that she was earning. This shows you that this state is good, and that's why it makes this list. So number 6 is Nevada. Nevada has a hourly rate of 46.97 per hour with an annual salary of 97.700 USD. So I did my research, and I also talked to 2 people who came from, actually one came from Las Vegas and Nevada, and one came from another part of Nevada that gotten, but they told me that they actually took a very big pay cut moving down here in Georgia. And now I see, when I was doing my research, what they meant by they took a big pay cut when they came down here. So Nevada made number 5 on the list of top 10 paying states in the US. Number 4 is New York, which an hourly rate of 51.26 per hour and an annual round salary of 106,620 USD. So New York made number 4 of this list of top paying states. Now, if you consider living in New York, New York is a very nice city. I haven't gone to the New York yet, but there is a reason why it's called the Big Apple, and the city, the state or the city that never sleeps. So New York, a lot of people like and will want to go to New York, is among the highest paying states, but there's a lot of also downsides to the state of New York. You can look up. There's a lot of pros of living in New York. You can research them and consider other factors also. If you are coming from home or from outside the US, if you really want to land in New York, because one obvious downside of living in New York is the high costs of living, especially the rents and the housing market is very expensive. So it's good. It's a city and a state that has a lot of opportunities and has a lot of its own beauty, but it has his own downsides. So if you're considering New York is among the top 10 paying states in the US. I have actually listened to a podcast. Was it a podcast or a YouTube video from this guy that used to work in New York, and he's now in California, and he always says that he waited too long to move to California from New York, and he lists a lot of issues that New York has for nurses. So if you're considering New York, yeah, it made the list, but look at all other factors that come into play when you're living in a place. Number 3 is Washington, with an hourly rate of 53.38 per hour and an annual salary of 111,030 USD. So Washington made number 3 I have people who work in Washington. They've moved from other states, and so far I haven't had any complaints from them. And I believe that is true. It should make the top 10 category of states that pay well in the US, and more so top 5. Number 2 is Oregon with an hourly rate of 54.54 per hour and annual salary of around 113,444 USD. So met one person who came from Oregon here in Georgia, and she can attest that she really took a cut to move here. Number 1 is the state that made number 1 is California. California is the state that always tops the states that pay very well for nurses in the US. And everybody and their mom from outside and even in the US will really want to uproot their life to California because of the hourly rate for nurses that they give. I'm talking in terms of nurses. I don't know about other professions, but I feel like it could be the case for other professions too. So here's the hourly rate of California, 63.78 per hour with an annual salary of 132,000 USD for nurses. That is an average hourly rate. I actually has a friend who moved to California and their starting salary was around 70 plus US dollars per hour when they moved there. So I can attest to the obvious reason. California is among the best in terms of payment, and it tops the highest paying states in the US. So as much as you look at these states like California, if you are back home, if you are outside the US, I wouldn't encourage you to be focusing on California for now, because California has, well, as like other states, it has its own board of nursing. And for you to sit for their NCLEX, for you to come and work there, and even before they petition your green card to go and work there, you have to have a social security number. So you can't have a social security number if you are outside the US, if you haven't come to the US with your green card yet. So if you are considering to look into California, just be patient, get here first. Go to the state that you will land in the US with, and then look up the kind of regulations California needs for you to work there, and then work your way towards getting a license or endorsing your license to California, which is also a process of its own. And then you can get your way to work in California. But yeah, those are the top 10 paying states for nurses in America. But as I said, as you look at this list, consider other factors: the weather, the cost of living, traffic, a lot of things that come into play before you consider moving there. Other than that, this was a short video. I had no much to say about these figures because these are just numbers, and numbers don't lie. I used I use a lot, like 5 resources to compile this list, and this is what I came up with. These numbers might change according as the years go by, or yearly, it will depend. So because there are so many factors that come into play when it comes to wages and payments and cost of living. So for now, for 2024, according to my research, this is the top 10 paying states. So as you look into your journey of coming to the US, if you are in America and you want to be a nurse, or if you are a nurse in America already, these are the states you might want to look at and research deeply and decide which state you want to move to among these states. So that being said, I have come to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching up to this time, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.